A number of people in the health.
You're giving us the psychology of an entrepreneur.
And entrepreneurs will burn out if they never transition from money to meaning. Well, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
What's the purpose?
What's your why?
What's your why? Absolutely.
What's your personal motivation to become an entrepreneur?
Do you grow an entrepreneur or are they born?
Well put. So we are here today with a very, very special friend of mine, Dr. Doug Nies. Dr. Nies is a clinical psychologist with the state of California. Very highly educated. He unfortunately went to UCLA for his undergrad.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. Do you guys find a football stadium yet?
We have two.
Oh, you have two?
Yeah, you guys, SC only has one. We got two. We got
What kind of-
SoFi
Wow.
and Rose Bowl. We got
Rose
two.
Bowl.
You know, that's
Yeah.
pretty rich for a
I say
state
we.
school.
I only worked there for a year, but
It's good
I say
enough.
we, yeah.
So you have a graduate degree in psychology. But what's interesting about that is that I find it interesting. You got it from a seminary.
Well, my PhD,
I'm
undergrad.
sorry, your PhD, yeah.
Yeah, undergrad. I was at UCLA, majored in psychology. At Fuller Seminary, there's the Graduate School of Psychology.
Uh-huh.
So it was the School of Psychology where I got my PhD.
Not only is he highly educated and a clinical psychologist practicing today, but he's also an entrepreneur. Dr. Doug provides credit card services for a number of people in the healthcare industry.
Well,
mental
licensed
health?
professionals throughout the United States.
Okay.
Individuals who either don't want to have their own merchant account, couldn't get it. We process that for them.
So when did you start this business?
2000.
So you've been doing it a while.
So, okay, I got to ask. Let's dig deep into it.
Sure.
How'd you get into it in 2000?
I love the question
Yeah.
because I think one of the best ways to become an entrepreneur is to have a problem that
Yeah.
you can figure out a solution. And so I was debating, should I get a merchant account for my office? And at that time, it was quite expensive. You had to rent expensive equipment. You had to make a 4-year commitment. You had to pay application fees, et cetera, et cetera. You know all these details.
there.
It's changed. And I thought, wow, I don't know that I'd use it that much. Maybe I could get a colleague to do it with me.
Okay.
And then it didn't take much where I said, well, if I could get one colleague, why couldn't I get 1,000 colleagues?
Yeah.
And so that's how it started, and built it on a shoestring, and actually did a couple of spin-offs. They didn't last, but one was paying school bills for Christian schools. The other was my church donations.
Oh.
And that went for a while. Then the need, there were other avenues that a lot of churches were going. But I continue to do the professional charges for licensed individuals throughout the United States.
That's fantastic.
So it's been a fun experience. It's been worthwhile. And I'm so glad I did it.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so here's a question. It's kind of an odd question. Would you say that a psychologist is an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So I'm in private practice, but in that capacity, I've taught at the university level. I have been involved with consulting with a lot of businesses. I wrote the scripts and for Joyce Brothers when she was doing. Do you remember Joyce Brothers?
I do, Dr. Joyce.
Yeah. So I wrote scripts for her when she was doing with a telemed company.
Okay.
People would call in and say, I want to know about this, and they'd push a number, dial a number, and she had a recorded message for them. Well, I wrote a lot of those.
Oh, wow.
So that was interesting. So, yeah, being a psychologist in private practice has provided a lot of opportunities, teaching workshops. We did 3 national seminars on spirituality and health.
That you sponsored and put on.
Yes, with a partner. And
how many people attended those?
I think there were probably 150. It was held locally, but we brought in experts in the field from UCLA, from Duke, all over. So that was a fun and interesting experience where it wasn't just for the money, it was for the meaning. And entrepreneurs will burn out if they never transition from money to meaning. Well, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
What's the purpose?
What's your why?
What's your why?
What's your why?
Absolutely.
Well, I have a question. Let's go all the way to the beginning since I'm meeting you for the first time. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And how did you choose UCLA?
Oh, brother.
These are actually very.
Because you couldn't get into SC?
No, this is actually, you got to know the background of the entrepreneur. I want
Right,
to know.
right. I was born in Glendale.
Okay.
From my office, I could look out what used to be the maternity section. It was about 100 yards from where, so I didn't go very far.
You didn't go far, okay.
So my father was a psychologist from UCLA.
There we go.
He had a PhD in experimental psychology, then got one in clinical psychology. And so he loved school, was always in school.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
So that was the heavy influence, going to UCLA.
Yeah.
And I loved my experience there. Do I love SC? Absolutely. And if UCLA isn't playing, go Trojans.
My wife went to UCLA, so I have great fondness for UCLA.
Oh, I have a lot of friends from SC.
For
Yeah.
the viewers, if you're brand new, Ron went to USC. He's a big Trojan fan. We just like taking little jabs at him, but we do love all you Trojan families. We just like to give this guy a hard time over here.
So okay, so I would have not thought of a psychologist as an entrepreneur, but to take that education, background, love, and turn it into something the way that you did. What was the drive to pivot and expand and promote yourself?
So it's really a tool. It was a tool to help my fellow clinicians. And
No, but I'm sorry. Let me go back because I'm talking about what's your personal motivation to become an entrepreneur?
that raises a lot of interesting questions. And one of them is, do you grow an entrepreneur or are they born?
Well put.
So it's the old issue in psychology of nature and nurture.
Right.
And it turns out, hey, it's both. So one study showed that between 30 and 42% of entrepreneurs are driven by their own genetics. And there are traits and qualities that we are born with that make it more likely that you're going to go in that independent path. But it's not completely one of genetics. It's not completely all of nature. There's the nurture. There is an environment. If you grow up in a home that is very authoritarian and very rigid and narrow, you're more likely to get a job and work for somebody else.
I talk to a lot of people over the years when I interview people, and I've filled a lot of sales jobs, and before Evolution and in other capacities in this industry. And I always ask somebody, are you a risk-oriented person or are you a safety-oriented person?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a commission-minded person or do you want a paycheck to paycheck?
Right.
What is it that drives you? Do you want to go home at night and forget about the job, or do you want to go home at night and figure out, hey, how can I make another dollar? How can I provide more for my family? And what you're saying is it's not just nature or nurture. You could pivot and find both.
You can, but there are certain qualities that are inherent in people that make it a whole lot easier. So there is that safety, there is that risk tolerance. You can be an entrepreneur without taking huge risks. But another quality that's similar to that is ambiguity. How much ambiguity? Because things are not always clear and in black and white as an entrepreneur. There's uncertainty. We've talked before of
Right.
There were times that it was close to the edge as we were young and growing into this, and where it's like, what am I doing? Where is this going? Maybe I should just settle down and get a real job. So ambiguity.
You're giving us the psychology of an entrepreneur.
Yes.
The back. I love it because I never seen this part. All we ever see is the end product. You see it on TV, you see it on the news. The Amazon situation, the Microsoft. The people behind that started it. But there is psychology to it too. So I appreciate you sharing this information.
So did Jeff Bezos? Did Steve Jobs? Did they have a choice? There was something inside of them that is driving them. So entrepreneurs usually have a need for success, a driving piece there.
Attention.
Sure, sure. But there's also a sense of, well, maybe we should define an entrepreneur.
Please
It's somebody
do.
who sees a business opportunity,
Yes.
takes the initiative, and takes some of the risk of finances or time, and they move that and want to take it to market,
Yep.
bringing an idea, bringing a product, bringing a service,
Yeah.
and then putting that out there, managing it, organizing it, keeping it alive.
Yep.
And one other piece, usually starting out, you have to be all things, but you want to. You were talking about pivoting. You want to pivot in. You don't want to be the smartest one in the room. You want to bring in.
That's correct.
Oh, that's how you got here, Reggie.
Yep.
You're going to let that slide.
No, I will. But, and it's often been said, David said many times, attach yourself to somebody that's successful.
Yes.
Emulate somebody else that's
A
successful.
mentor.
Yeah, a mentor.
Absolutely.
Can a shy person be an entrepreneur?
So that's a great question, because extroversion is one of the variables that we look at with entrepreneurs. And not all entrepreneurs are extroverted. It
Yeah.
can help. But you can also partner with people. I had a partner once who we were, in terms of personality, mirror image opposites. And that can work really, really well for partnership. My wife and I are mirror image opposites. That can create tension, but it can create great balance too.
Great insight here. I'm learning a lot.
Okay, so let's tie it to our business. We have
What business do you have, Ron?
a little travel agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That you are sitting in the world headquarters in beautiful
And
Los Angeles, California.
It is very exciting, and truly, this is a beautiful facility.
We are very, very
you.
proud of what Reggie and I have accomplished here.
So I saw the old headquarters
Yes,
in
you
the
did.
old studio,
Yeah.
and I cannot say enough good about what you guys have done here. It's great.
This was a labor of love. It took a village to build this.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
We're very
And a lot of
honored.
cash.
and some money, but yes.
Okay, coming back to your
Yeah.
business, how does
So how do we tie? So we have roughly 22,000 independent home-based agents throughout the world, of which 55% approximately are in the United States, and 45% are outside. And one of the things that I find I'm going to go down this route because I like it. The United States is more network marketing averse. We talked about this. We said this last night.
we did?
We went to dinner. I primed him with dinner last
Thanks
night.
for the invite. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That
no
was
problem.
nice.
Well, at the end, when I'm trying to pull my credit card out too, he says, "Oh no, this is in payment for the
Yeah,
the
this is on
podcast."
Reggie.
Oh yeah, so I bought dinner.
You did.
Yeah, and I said,
Perfect.
"Oh, my podcast fee is much higher than dinner," but yeah, I got swindled. Yeah, we
So-
did talk about this last night.
But so in the United States, it's like, network marketing. I don't want to be a recruiter, or I don't know, it's commission, this type of thing. Where internationally, it's like, Katie bar the door. I mean, it's like, yeah, absolutely, let's give it a shot. Why the difference, do you think? And you had made a comment last night that struck me, and I'm not sure I agree with it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So what did you say last
I
night?
have no idea what you're referencing.
You said because we've been MLM to death.
Oh, sure, I did. Yeah.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
The Amways, yeah. So I would title this podcast one of two titles. Either, so you want to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Or the other one is, so you are an entrepreneur and want to learn more about
Right.
yourself and how to do it.
Okay.
I think really the message here is we have all these people who are listening in who want to take their game to the next level.
Okay.
That's right.
And that's a win-win situation.
Absolutely.
And so there are several mindsets that they have to develop.
Okay.
One is an openness. You have to be open to the
I don't want to do that.
No. I think you're misunderstanding.
Okay.
It's not the touchy-feely. You have to be open to seeing opportunities.
Okay. Explain more.
So there was a study done in London, and they were taking a look at luck. And they measured people on a scale, and they took individuals who were very low. They believed, I'm not lucky. And then they had a second group, people who said, oh, I'm very lucky. I'm really good with luck. They then put, in England, it was a 20-pound note, so a $20 bill, in the doorway of a bakery, and they sent them to the bakery. Lucky people did not notice the money. Most of them did not. The lucky people did. It's this idea of being open to opportunity, open to experience. All of these are psychologically tested with what's known as the Big Five. It's a psychological approach. So openness.
Do you have a definition of luck? Because I do.
Well, openness, aware, paying attention, looking for opportunities. What's yours?
Luck is the ability to place yourself in a position to recognize opportunity when it presents itself.
I like that. Yes, that fits with the openness.
Okay.
There's a second piece that's also very important. It's known as conscientiousness. So it's the self-discipline. It's the willing to persevere. It's the willing to grow up and be an adult and handle the bills and so forth, not just ignoring them. Extroversion is the third of those Big Five, and it's not as critical. And it depends on what you're doing in your entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
So it can be really, really useful in sales. It may not be super important in terms of design or working on CAD if you're trying to develop something to market.
Sure. Absolutely.
Another interesting one is agreeableness. Entrepreneurs aren't overly agreeable. They don't care what you think.
They don't.
Look, I'm in this to be independent, to do it my way. I'll work hard. Now, you can't ignore that, but it's from low to average on that one. A final characteristic from that approach is neuroticism, which is basically your emotional stability. It's good to be emotionally stable so that you're not blown away. Oh my gosh, we're going to lose the house. Sometimes you can be in that situation where you might.
Sure.
But the more you can say, look, like Hannibal getting ready to cross the Alps, I'll find a way or I'll make a way.
That's right.
But one way or another, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to work this out. So that's another quality.
He's spot on.
Yeah, and in my impression, the entrepreneur is a guy that says, you know what? Yeah, I've got a setback here, but I'm going to double down.
There are people who are more open to risk. That's on a very... Usually they talk about high-risk takers. I personally have seen a lot where there's not a huge risk other than maybe time or OPM, other people's money, maybe starting it.
Yeah, we're risk takers. Obviously, you and I are both. I'm more so than you are, but I don't see myself as a high risk taker. I mean,
exactly.
I'm not going to go to Vegas and put $100,000 on black.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
That kind of thing.
But let's take it to another level.
Okay.
There are people listening out there who are saying, I want to do better in my life.
Okay.
I want more. I want to give more, and I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. And there are two sides of it. One of the things that I really like about your company is you provide an education. Here are the tools. We'll teach you how to do it. It's a minimal buy-in for you to be able to do this. We have the resources, and we'll partner with you.
Yep.
The other side of that is they have to take the step. They have to have the self-confidence to say, I can do this. It may not always be comfortable, but I need to put my big boy or big girl pants on and step up and do this because I have a vision. Now, that's another key thing for an entrepreneur, to have a vision.
I'm dealing with that right now. My brother's sister-in-law, she makes probably the best sourdough I've ever had.
Oh.
And so I was home for Christmas, visiting my family, and she made sourdough bread. So I had it, and I'm like, this is amazing. Everyone's like, yeah. I said, you really should go on, do road shows and open up your own shop. And everyone there just looked at me like I was crazy. And that was a start of me saying, look, there's more to this than just making sourdough bread in your oven. You have something here that people love. She did her first road show in January, a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Sold out in 3 hours. It was a 6-hour road show. She didn't have enough product. And so I told my brother, now the next step is to open a shop. And he's like, she won't do it. They're not, I wouldn't say risk takers. They're just not that, they're not into that entrepreneur. And my whole idea is, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but okay, but on the other side of the coin too, depending on their age, where they're at, their kids, etc.
Yes.
I mean, a shop is 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
100%.
That goes beyond. I really like what you're saying. Now, my question to you is, how do I help them to become more entrepreneurial?